They'll run it for the first time with Alvin Kamara. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Throwing on second down. The catch made over the middle by Ginn. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. From midfield, here's Breeze. Finds his man, Watson, over the middle. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. And they just keep marching right along. First down on a pickup of 8 there. Breeze going to come up here, 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Shotgun now for Breeze. He'll let it fly in the direction again. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. And I do believe this is going to line up a safety. It is. It's a safety. How about that for a wacky play? Wow, what a disaster. You talk about a guy making a good play on the interception and then just trying to be too cute on the return.
It almost felt like his own gyroscope really got out of whack, didn't it? Going backwards into your own end zone after such a great play. Totally disoriented and gave up 2 points for his team.
This is taken at the 10. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. And room to run as he's up past the 35-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short. Second down, here's Breeze. Over the middle, complete. It's Watson. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. A busy first quarter. His 3rd catch of the afternoon is a first down. This is Ingram on 1st and 10. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Saints football to begin quarter number 2. They've got a 2nd and 9 to start things out. Brees going to throw. Caught by the tight end Watson. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Brees looking to throw on 3rd and 2. Chargers able to get the pressure and bring him down. Kyle Emanuel with a big-time sack on 3rd down. And it'll be a loss of 7. They do go for it. It's Brees. And Thomas has it. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. How about them biting off 15 yards there on the 4th down attempt and keeping the drive alive? Brees now, after the pick on the last drive, 3 for 3 to start this drive. It's 1st and 10. Brees now. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Working from the gun, it's Brees. And that one was nearly picked. Not sure he was accounting for the free safety. That brings up 3rd down.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. On 3rd and long, it's Brees. And it's incomplete. Both players had a shot at that one. Neither can get it, and it brings up 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it. They're indeed going for it as they look to throw. And the pressure gets to Brees as he's taken down. Kyle Emanuel in there to get him his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. Now Gordon on first down. Not much there. Maybe a couple as he's taken down at the 40.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Remain here in the first half. We'll come back to Southern California after this. So that'll back him up 5. Following the penalty, here's Gordon. Dances by him. And down inside the 40 to about the 38. And he's able to get more than half of what they needed. That brings up a 3rd and 5.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
The Saints with an extra defensive back here on 3rd on the field.
Could they blitz?
And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here. And an encroachment penalty here will cost them 5 yards.
And it makes it so simple, doesn't it? An easy free 5 yards for the offense given to them by the defense.
And that last penalty makes this 3rd down play a little more interesting. 3rd and 5. Now they'll pitch it out. This is Gordon. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a 1st down. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
Well, partner, what do you think? Might have been 4-down territory if they didn't pick it up, but...
Yeah, it's a moot point now. I was curious, so if they didn't get it there, would they have gone for it? I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, we didn't have to make that call, but I have a feeling both of us would have said, go for it.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? So a jump there defensively.
It's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
Now a chance to make that encroachment penalty really hurt. 1st and 5. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. Well, they didn't really have to earn that 1st down, did they?
Well, they're not having to earn much, are they? Back-to-back penalties. First was 1st and 5, and now they give them a 1st down.
So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10. Rivers now to throw on 1st down. And that one falls incomplete. Try to dump it underneath. Now 2nd down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter. A lot of time to change things. So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. On 2nd down, Rivers again. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1. The linebacker, Demario Davis, got a hand in to break that one up. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Rivers going to turn and give this one to his running back, Gordon. And they'll get him down right about the 20. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
The Chargers will bring out the field goal unit now. This will be a 37-yard attempt. And his kick is good. And they will jump out in front here with a very unusual scoreline of 3-2. So I guess we'll call this a pitcher's duel so far. I think that was a 3-run homer there, and it makes it a 3-2 ball game.
Yeah, what inning are we in? It's not the most common of scorelines, but it's pretty indicative of the fact that we're in for a tight one.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Saints offense, they get ready to go back to work here. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you something,
you're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
Looking long for Thomas. And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow. And now before this 1st down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the 1st half of play. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30.
Ready. You ready? What's up?
Breeze now on 1st down. Again has it complete. Finding room to the 20. That goes for a gain of 31.
As we continue to advance in the NFL, as people continue to scout players, they really don't care as much about body types. is they care about those guys who can make people miss, run through tackles, and gain all that additional run after catch. Anybody who has that ability, they want them on their team.
So it's 1st and goal and a great opportunity to get that lead back before the break. Bridgewater with a keeper. And he is in for the score. Touchdown, New Orleans. Teddy Bridgewater scoring on the sneak from a yard out. And the Saints are able to cash in for 6. Now Sean Payton going to say, let's go for 2 on this one. Now this time Breeze will throw. And his pass incomplete. Protection was great. He had time to set up a campsite. But in the secondary, though, they were ready.
And I think that in most places on the field, if you have that much time to throw the ball, someone's going to shake free and you'll find an open receiver. But condensed near the goal line on a 2-point conversion, all that extra, there's not any extra field. So it kind of closes in on them, and that allows you to cover a little bit better.
The Chargers getting set to go. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
19 seconds showing to play in the half as they come up here 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Rivers sets up the screen to Gordon. No gain on the screen there at 2nd down. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. Play fake to Gordon. Now Rivers. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Demario Davis. And he's given his guys a shot for late points as they will take over in range for a field goal or maybe more. Breeze gets it up to Ingram. And he'll get this one down to about the 27. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. And now a timeout defensively after that first down. So they're going to make this offense sweat out half number 1. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. This from 44 yards away. And it's no good. Lutz pulled it. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. Here's Desmond King on the return. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Out comes the Chargers as they'll go on offense now to start this third quarter. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. So Rivers will lead the Chargers up 1st and 10, just shy of the 30. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here. A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
So this helps to start a drive. After the penalty, it'll be 1st and 5. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. And just a yard on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 4.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? So step off the 5 yards.
Yeah, partner, you know, defensive end, he wants to get into the offensive backfield. He wants that get off to be as fast as possible. A little too quick on that one.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. This is Gordon as they go to him again. Nifty move by Gordon. And a nice spin into some open field. That one 28 yards on the ground.
Partner, we've seen Melvin Gordon do it a variety of ways running the football. How about that last run? Had a little shake and bake to it there, didn't he?
He did.
Kind of reminded me of when he was at Wisconsin and what he did in Nebraska. His last year there, 408 yards in a single game. At that time, that was the NCAA rushing record, wasn't it?
Yeah, and then a week later, Samaje Perine broke his record with 427 yards against Kansas. A toss play, Gordon. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. So a loss of 5, and it'll be 2nd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage.
Here we go. Cluster. Ahead!
Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. So they will accept the penalty and move forward. So the penalty now moves it up. It's 2nd and 10. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here. So that one will be accepted. So the penalty certainly helps them out as they come up on 2nd and 5. Now a toss right side. It's Gordon. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. On 3rd down, this is Melvin Gordon. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Now that was a big-time play by the defense. They as well knew where the 1st down line was, and they didn't let them get anywhere near it.
So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. He connected on his first, this from 41. And his kick is good. And a 2nd field goal here gets him back within a couple at 8-6 now. So he splits the uprights, and has to be a nice feeling. Right when it left his foot, knew it was good.
Yeah, just like a good 3-point shooter in basketball, right? Release the ball, fall back on defense without even looking. You know it's going in the hoop.
Now the attention turns to the Saints offense getting ready for their first possession of the 2nd half. So Bree's going to lead the Saints up here 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Right. Waiting. Hey, easy.
The drive starts here with a carry by Ingram. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. They stay on the ground. This time it's Kamara. And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and they're going to face a 3rd down. From the gun, it's Breeze. And the Chargers rush is going to get there. Down he goes. Denzel Perryman with a big-time sack on 3rd down. And it'll be a loss of 7. And a tough ask here. They're going to go for it on 4th down and 9. They're going to try and throw. And they will not be able it's incomplete. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And the Chargers will get the football back in excellent field position.
They'll
try and get the ground game going. Here's Gordon. And he's going to take this down to about the 17. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Here we go.
Back now at the StubHub Center in Carson. It's been a good one so far. Just a 2-point game here as we get set for quarter number 4. On 2nd down, they'll run with Gordon. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. It's a good gain of 11. Sets him up 1st and goal.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
And the question now, how do they want to work the clock here on 1st and goal? A field goal would give them the late lead.
Set! 380!
1st and goal, Melvin Gordon. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively, because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on 2nd down. They get it to him running left. Oh, good footwork on the spin. It goes as a loss of 6. And now 3rd down.
Well, as far as plays go, there's nothing to write home about on that one, because that one gets some negative yardage. But if you do want to find a positive, he found a way to get out of bounds and stop the clock.
Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. Now they'll run it on the toss. Only able to pick up a yard, and that's going to leave them with a long 4th and goal. Have to kick this field goal, don't you?
No question about it. Look at the clock. Look at the situation. Kick the field goal.
So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. And his kick here is good. And they're going to take the lead here as it's now 9-8. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. And now the Saints get set to trot out there. And on that last drive, went for it on fourth, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on fourth down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3, and that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. Throwing on first down is Breeze. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Kyle Emanuel able to disrupt yet another pass play, his 3rd sack of the afternoon. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. He's back to throw. This is caught by Gill. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down. The Saints on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 4. Back to throw. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And he gets it down to the 48. Enough for the first. Breeze to another longtime vet, Ginn, for the New Orleans first.
Now you're right on the edge of field goal range. You've still got time, but get up to the line of scrimmage and get set.
Breeze now 12 of 16 thus far. It's 1st and 10. Breeze to Ingram on the draw. Broke through some contact, but unable to reach the 40. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. They're making steady progress, but I see your face. You're worried about that clock.
I'm worried about the clock, and at some point, you have to have a splash play in there as well.
Hey, break it down, fellas. Break it down.
Again, they'll run with Ingram. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. 12 yards there as they move the chains. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. He'll look to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. Thomas, the intended target, and that'll bring up 2nd down. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is it just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. Breeze on the draw, gives to Kamara. Great footwork, but still wrangled down before reaching the 20. A nice job to get 8 there after the incompletion, and now they'll look at a 3rd and 2 coming up. They still got 2 timeouts. Got to start using them, don't they?
You absolutely have to. You save them for this situation, but you have to use them.
The Saints on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Here's Kamara trying to run for it. And they'll get this down to the 10. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Now the timeout will be called, so they're in field goal range with 3 seconds left. So it all rests now on the right leg of Will Lutz. And a timeout comes in. The whistles blow with 3 seconds remaining. So it all rests now on the right leg of Will Lutz. And he's not able to come through. This is no good. And that is how this game comes to a close. Well, Charles, coaches always talk after losses about putting that behind you and moving on. But in a case like this, when you could have won it with a chip shot field goal and you miss it, that is going to sting for a little while, isn't it?
Some are tougher to put behind you than others, right? We always talk about compartmentalizing. What is the rule? Coaches always talk about 24-hour rule after a game, and then you move on. That's tough because that was a very makeable field goal. In fact, I think you and I were both just shocked that he didn't knock it through the post, and they end up walking off the field losers.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. From Southern California, so long, everybody.